Hey guys, Joe from American Muscle, and today we're going to be taking a closer look at the MP Concepts rear diffuser, fitting all 18 and newer GTs and 19 and newer EcoBoost with the active exhaust option. Now, this is going to be a great option for you if you're looking for a complete replacement rear diffuser that takes that factory styling and turns it up to 11. Also, if you're a base model EcoBoost owner and you have the dual tip exhaust, you're looking to go over to quad tips, applying a diffuser like this can make enough room to fit that. So to start off with the MP Concepts rear diffuser, we're going to dive into build quality, and then we'll talk design and features, and then at the end, I'm going to show you how to get this installed on your 18 and newer Mustang. So this is made out of automotive grade polypropylene, and that is going to be lightweight and durable. Plastic just like the factory rear diffuser, exactly what you'd expect. Now this is going to take that factory styling and turn it up to 11 a little bit. We're going to get the two diffusers side by side and really point out the styling differences in just a second, but long story short, this is going to be a little bit more aggressive. We have an extra fin on either side. This shroud is also a little bit more aggressive, and of course, we have way more than enough room for our quad exhaust. One thing I really like about this one is this is going to be a complete replacement. A lot of other diffusers out there for the 18 and newer Mustang, they're basically held on with some 3M double-sided tape, which I don't know about you guys, but that definitely does not help me sleep at night, knowing my diffuser's held on with 3M double-sided tape. And this is actually going to reuse a lot of the factory hardware to install. Pretty much all the bolts, you can see the reflectors here are factory, as well as the reverse light in the middle. This thing is not going anywhere, and it looks more complete being held on with the real hardware instead of just some double-sided tape. If you like the look of the MP Concepts rear diffuser, you're looking to take this to the next level, MP Concepts also offers a winglet kit to add some style to the sides. Another thing I wanted to touch on, just in case any of you guys out there were curious, is the diffuser is way down here and will not interfere with the proximity sensors or the reverse camera on the rear of your Mustang. You'll get to keep those features no problem. So the next thing we're going to talk about here, it's going to be fitment. Let's start off with the GTs. Starting in 2018, all of the GTs have quad tips, so if you're on the V8 side, this is going to fit everything 18 and newer. EcoBoost is a little bit different story. If you have a base model, that is only going to be running with the dual exhaust, and the diffuser on there only makes room for basically one tip on each side. So if you do apply this, you're going to have a little bit of extra space here. MP Concepts does offer a tip kit if you want to give the quad exhaust look without having to buy a whole brand new quad exhaust. If you're in that base model EcoBoost camp, that can definitely work out. Now, EcoBoost also got an active exhaust option starting in 2019, and if your Mustang has that option, you already have these quad tips, and this is going to mate up just fine and look just like our GT does. Pricing is going to drop in right around the $200 mark, and that is really not a bad price to pay for a full replacement. A lot of the stick-on options out there that I was mentioning earlier run at a higher price point than that, so 200 bucks for something that looks complete and adds that aggressive look to the rear of the Mustang, in my opinion, is well worth it. The install here is really not going to be too bad. I'm going to give it an easy 2 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter. The reason I give it a 2, not a 1, there are a lot of body clips on here that can be a little bit tough. We're going to show you exactly how to get those removed in just a second here. All in all, you come with some basic hand tools. You'll have this job wrapped up in about an hour or two. So without any further ado, let me show you what tools you'll need and how it's done. Tools we use for this install will include a ratchet. You're also going to need a smaller version because we are going to be working in a tight space, 10 and 7mm sockets. Down here, we also have a trim panel removal tool. I wrap the end in electrical tape to just help protect the paint. So the first thing we're gonna need out of that tool shot, it's gonna be the good old trim panel removal tool. There are a couple of push pins under here that are holding on the diffuser. We're gonna have to get those out of the way. Before we do, one thing I do wanna touch on is we are on a lift. You don't need a lift to do this job. However, there's a lot of stuff under here that we're gonna need to remove, and it is pretty tight with the Mustang on the ground. I would recommend a set of ramps, jack stands, something like that in order to get this diffuser out of here. So this one you see right here, I believe this isn't factory and actually part of the mud flap kit on this Mustang, but you can see it is in the diffuser here, so we're gonna go ahead and get that out of the way. Then moving backwards, you can see underneath here, right next to the muffler, we do have 2 more push pins. Those have to go as well. And before we get too far along, one thing I do want to say here is we're going to be reusing a lot of this stuff, so keep all these push pins handy and do not destroy them with the flathead if you do plan on using one of those. Then we can come over and hit the same thing for the other side. And with this one, I believe that is the last of the push pins. So next up, we can go ahead and grab our 7mm socket. And if I pry down this little bracket here where those push pins were, you can see there are some nut clips. There's one right there, there's another one right there, and this one on the end is actually the only one with a bolt in it. We've done diffusers before, a couple of ours are missing, but all three of these will be 7mm bolts. We're gonna get those all removed. Over on the other side, you see the same thing. We're actually missing these two forwardmost ones as well, but this one all the way at the rear does have the bolt in it, so we're gonna go ahead and get that out of the way. Moving toward the rear, this is the diffuser outlet right here. There's 4 more 7mm bolts, 2 right here, 2 right here. These are a little bit easier to get at, so we're gonna go ahead and remove all those. The next thing we're gonna do is disconnect our reverse light. You can twist it counterclockwise and take the bulb out, but what I think is easier and cleaner to do is actually if you push down at this top right here. At this point, the only thing holding on our diffuser here are a bunch of body clips, so all we're gonna do is very slowly work around and pop those out. All right, so that's pretty much gonna be it for the removal process. As you saw there, those clips are barbed on the top, so the way that I like to do it is wrap that trim panel tool in a little bit of electrical tape just to protect our beautiful red paint. And then if you get in between the two and sort of pry down on the diffuser, they should pop right out. Little bit of work if yours has never been removed before, but definitely worth it. So now that we have this completely off, we have to transfer over a few things, our reverse light, these reflectors on the side, and some nut clips on the side of the diffuser. It's really easy. We're gonna start with the reverse light. It's held in with 4 7mm bolts. And keep those 4 screws handy because we are gonna need them. You can go ahead, pop out the reverse light. So next up we have the reflectors. There's one of these on either side. This nut right here looks a little strange. Basically what it does is it cuts its own threads on this plastic stud. So we're gonna be using hand tools for that one. We're gonna have to reuse this. We don't wanna mess up those threads. Again, 10mm nut right here, and then on the other side we have a clip. Squeeze that will pop right out. And then it's the same process on the other side. We also have to transfer over these nut clips. There's 3 on either side. So this is our new diffuser. We're just gonna put all that stuff back on the same way it came off. So now that we have all of our factory components transferred over from our factory diffuser to our new MP Concepts diffuser, I figured now would be the perfect time to sit the two next to each other and basically point out some comparisons. So our new MP Concepts diffuser, it's gonna speak the same sort of style, just turned up to 11. You can see this is a little bit more aggressive. We have an extra fin on each side, a total of 4, up from the 2 on the factory diffuser. Also, this shroud around the fins, it's gonna be a little bit more aggressive as well. Another subtle difference, this U-bar on the MP Concepts, that is not there on the factory one. However, one thing that is on both of these 3 bars on top of the fin shroud, that is gonna transfer over. Now, one thing with the MP Concepts that is not there that I wish was, there's a little bit of a honeycomb imprint going on the factory one. I wish they would have did that up here. That's something I really like. That's classic Mustang. I really wish that would transfer over, but again, for what this adds to the look of the rear of the Mustang, I think it's a small price to pay. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and grab this MP Concepts diffuser. We're gonna grab our tools and the factory hardware, head back to our 18 GT and get this button done. So to get this installed, first things first, this is gonna click in with those barbed clips, just like the factory one pried out. It just takes a little bit of effort lining that up. Now, once that is clicked in, we can move underneath, tighten down these 4 7mm bolts in the middle. Now that one on the outside, this is gonna be the finer thread as that goes into metal. These ones in the middle here, they thread into plastic. They're gonna be the coarser thread bolts. And while we're still in the middle here, we can go ahead and plug in the reverse light. Next thing we're gonna do is move onto the sides here. If you'll remember, we have those 3 7mm bolts. I went ahead and replaced a few we were missing, and then we can fold this up and do the push pins. And then we're gonna do the same thing over here on the other side. That is gonna do it for my review and install of the MP Concepts rear diffuser, fitting all 18 and newer GTs and 19 and newer EcoBoost with the active exhaust feature. As always, guys, Thank you for watching. Keep it right here at American Muscle for all things Mustang.